With the growing demand for conducting systematic reviews, tools such as Covidence are designed to streamline the process, thus alleviating some of the workload and making collaboration much more efficient. In this video, you'll learn about Covidence, how to set up a free account through the Welch Library website, and how it can help you and your team conduct a systematic review. As a Hopkins student, faculty, or staff member, you can take advantage of the institution-wide subscription that Hopkins provides freely to all affiliates. To open an account, start from the Welch Medical Library's homepage. Click on the Covidence link on the left-hand side of the screen in the Research Tools heading. As a new user, follow the instructions listed in the Notes section of the page. First, click on the Sign Up link and fill in the registration form. Then, go to the second step and request an invitation to join the JHU Welch Medical Library account. Once you receive the email from Covidence, click on the link in the email to accept the request, and you'll be ready to get started. You can access your account at any time, either from the library's Covidence link, or you can log in directly from the Covidence website using the login located on the top of the page. To get started, you'll need to click on the Start a New Review button. Give the review a name and then click the button for JHU Welch Medical Library. When you're ready, click on the Create Review button. Now you can go to the project settings to invite reviewers to your team and customize the screening roles. Under the Hopkins institutional subscription, you're allowed an unlimited number of reviewers, and they can be from any institution, not just Hopkins. Once you complete your search, you can import the citations from citation management tools such as EndNote, Zotero, RefWorks, and Mendeley in RIS text format and begin screening. Let me show you briefly what the screening process looks like in Covidence. If I go into the Title Abstract Screening page for my review, you'll see all of the items that need to be screened, including the citation information and abstract when available for each. From here, you can then vote on whether to move the item onto the next round of screening or exclude it from the review by clicking the Yes or No buttons on the right-hand side of each item. There's also a Maybe button if you're not sure whether to include or exclude an item. Covidence supports single and dual screening. If you're screening with more than one person, after you vote on an item, Covidence will automatically move it to the Awaiting Other Reviewer category until another person reviews it. If the second person votes differently on an item, Covidence moves the item to the Resolves Conflicts category. You can also specify screening permissions for each reviewer. So if you only want the more experienced members on your team resolving conflicts, you can set the screening permissions accordingly. With the Settings button on your project's homepage, you can set up features that will make your screening even more seamless. For example, clicking on the Criteria and Exclusions Reasons section allows you to add your inclusion and exclusion criteria. Just below this section, you can click on Manage Highlights to add inclusion and exclusion terms that will be highlighted as you review your citations. Now, if I go back to the Title Abstract Screening, I can click on Show Criteria, and the inclusion-exclusion criteria will display while I screen. Also, if I click the Show Highlights button, the terms that I set up with the Manage Highlights box will appear in the records. Inclusion criteria will show up in green, and exclusion criteria will show up in red. Once you've completed the Title Abstract Screening phase, Covidence automatically moves the items with a Yes and Maybe vote to the FullText Screening phase. Once in the FullText Screening section, you can upload multiple PDFs at the same time using the Bulk Upload PDFs button. Using this feature automatically attaches the FullText files to the corresponding items in Covidence. This is key for facilitating the FullText screening process among your team members, especially those located at other institutions. You'll notice that the FullText screening process is very similar to the Title Abstract Screening process. But this time, when you select No to exclude a record, Covidence prompts you to select an exclusion reason from a drop-down menu that you customize. As your team is working in Covidence, it's automatically populating an editable Prisma flow diagram that you can add to your final publication. To access this diagram, click on the Prisma link on the upper right-hand side of the screen. Notice that Covidence even formats the FullText review exclusion reasons in the Prisma flow diagram. Once the FullText screening phase is complete, you have the option to use Covidence's data extraction forms. You'll want to customize your data extraction forms at the beginning of your project to ensure all records are extracted with the same criteria. You may find that Covidence's data extraction forms are primarily geared for systematic reviews of interventions and do not meet the needs of your project. At any point in the process, however, you can export your files and use another tool for data extraction. To learn more about using Covidence or to keep current of new updates, Covidence has an easy-to-use help guide that they call their knowledge base. Access this help guide by selecting the link for support from the main page or the question mark from inside your account. As you can see, Covidence enables multiple reviewers to work more efficiently through some of the most labor-intensive steps of a systematic review, such as screening records and extracting data. Set up a free account through the Welch Library, and you'll be ready to start using this powerful tool. For more information about Covidence, visit the Get Help section of our website, reach out to the Welch Service Center through chat, email, or phone, or contact your informationist directly.